Okay, class. Let's continue with our today's topic, the cell cycle. As we already know, cells are the smallest living unit. So, as living beings, they need to pass through certain processes. In a general way, these processes are divided into a growing phase, a phase for duplication of different cellular materials, and a division phase. Who can tell me the name of these different phases?
Okay, first G1 is a growing phase, then S is a phase when the DNA is duplicated. G2 is a phase when the cells finish their duplication and growing, and finally the mitosis is a phase when the cells finish their division.
Yes, exactly. Now, the main problem when we study this phenomenon is the cellular scale. What units do we use when we talk about the dimensions of a cell?
Millimeter?
You need to think a little smaller.
I know, micrometers, and that's why we need to use a microscope to see this process.
Exactly. And this is a really important point because even though we all living beings are formed by cells, we can only see them in cultures using microscopes. As continuing with this perspective of cells as living beings, it's normal to expect that they can produce different responses to different stimuli in the environment. And some of these stimuli can affect the progress of the cell cycle. So, as future scientists, using this information, I want you to develop an experiment. Who can think in one example of an experiment?
Maybe we can use two cell cultures, A and B. So to A we apply an X substance, but to B as a control we don't apply anything, any substance. So we just have to measure how long it takes to the cells to divide.
That's a cool experiment. Now, if we know that an independent variable is something that we can control of our experiment, and a dependent variable is where we want to measure and we can't control directly, what do you think would be the independent variable and what the dependent variable in this experiment?
I think the independent variable would be the administration of the substance, while the dependent variable would be the time it takes to the cells to divide.
Exactly. In this case, we would be measuring time, but also, for example, we can count how many cells there are in the plate after a certain amount of time of the administration of the substance. You must always remember that the direction of your experiment is given by your hypothesis. That is an affirmation that you want to prove with the results of your experiment. So in this case, what could be our hypothesis in this experiment?
Maybe that the administration of the substance X to a culture increases the rate of division.
Right, that is a valid hypothesis, and the results of our experiment will tell us if it's true or false. Okay guys, we reached the end of the class. So I'll see you tomorrow, and always remember, if you can explain it, you understand it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.